Okay, hi dear friends. This is Vasimesa. I hope you are doing great. And today I'm coming with a special question. I had what deck or what tarot deck to offer to your boyfriend. Actually, I asked this question in the group for Love of Cards, which is one of my favorite groups about tarot cards and tarot collection decks and so on. And many of you, if you will see these videos, answered with different decks, and I'm going to explore some of them today. So first, I want to talk about this option of offering a gift. It has become very difficult in the last years to offer a gift to someone, and I think you understand what I mean. In the sense is that everything now is offered. It can be purchased through Amazon or other platforms. So there is a kind of abundance in, things that surround us. So sometimes when we get to that point of what should I offer as a gift, we become like stuck, or and sometimes it gets really hard to figure out what would be the best option. And in that sense, tarot is really a good option because especially if someone is not into tarot but is getting interested by that, is like a pushing, like it's like a hand showing the way somewhere. And I really believe that offering tarot deck or an oracle deck is beautiful because it's opening a way. It opens to a new world, or it triggers some things. It makes people curious and exploring. Like we are calling in their explorer, the inside explorer, the inner explorer, to discover new worlds within and without. So for a boyfriend, which is like a close relationship, which is like merging with that person, or loving that person, and wanting to share something we love from one side, and at the same time offering a window to a new world, and also like pushing. So we have these 3 points, right, in that gift. Sometimes we get stuck, and I understand totally that. So today I will be exploring some of a list, and I'm going to show you these decks. I put them out so that I can share them in the screen, that might be interesting for your boyfriend. And there is something else I want to say also, just before we start that. There are some things you might need to consider when choosing a deck for your boyfriend. For example, I took some notes, and not to forget, there are some, like for example, what is the art style he likes? Does he like more the old style or the modernish style? What colors does he like most? Is he more into blue, or is he more into the orange? For example, what type of movies does he watch? What type of series does he like? Is he into futuristic side, of movies, or is he into the past, stories? What type of learner is he? Does he learn by images, or does he learn by, or does he read, like by the forms or numerology, or is he into architecture, or is he into poetry? All these things will help you to figure out what type of cards will work for him or might work for him. But I need to say that whatever you might analyze, because when you do this, you are analyzing, you are reducing the number of decks you can offer. There is part of magic that we need to leave there, a part of intuition. And maybe say like, there is this deck that I feel like this deck is like attracting me, and I want to offer it for him. So you need to leave some space for magic and for intuition to choose the deck. And last, don't feel bad if a deck, if you purchase a deck or you offer a deck to your boyfriend and he doesn't connect with it, and that's totally okay, because you have done something and you have opened the window, And how many times did we get a deck and we didn't connect with it, but after some years we connect to it? So, and then don't lose hope. Leave that deck somewhere. Maybe you will be using it. Maybe your boyfriend will get to use it one day. So don't be disappointed if that does not work, but instead be open to the magic and believe in the decision that you made. So let's start with the some decks that I have put out for you according to my own choices and according to some of the community members that they suggested to me. All right, so let's start with the first one, which is the Steampunk Tarot deck, which is a really lovely deck. So the steampunk, you see, there is like some, like technological things, at the same time past things, and the imagery and the colors are more like a darkish and more masculine side. And when we talk about feminine, you always remember the pinky, like maybe red, maybe more soft colors. When we talk about masculine, of course, all these are stereotypes, but when we talk about masculine, we talk about black, gray, brown. So this one might be interesting, especially for the visual aspect, and also for the figures, because of the males that are depicted there are quite there are a lot of men, not only in the court cards. So the second deck that I got this suggestion and I really thought about it also because Game of Thrones, I mean, there are so many people who love this series and connected to it. And when you offer a deck that is familiar, the people have already like some background and they will recognize these people, it's a very, very good window. It's not like they are discovering a new word. They are more connected with something they already know, which will take their hand to introduce them to tarot. Personally, for me, as I'm not a fan of Game of Thrones, I don't connect with it, but I know some people that really love it. And this is definitely one option I would offer for a boyfriend. The third deck is the Fontaine Tarot, and this is a beautiful deck. It's very, very, very nice. I mean, I use it. It's one of my favorites. And I know that there are many men that like this deck. And it also has this variety in the images, which you feel like is more contemporary, which is modern. People from different colors, different backgrounds. And also the colors, they are quite like you are visiting a big, like a big company. You are getting into a big, like building that is modern. And it has this feeling of modernity. It has this feeling of a city, a big city. And people who are into architecture, into engineering, these type of things, I noticed that they really like this deck. So it might be a very good gift. So the next one is the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit decks. And this one might be interesting for those who love animals. But to be honest, I didn't, it's here, but it wouldn't be my first choice, because you have to remember a man who's the first time to read with cards, and it depends, of course, of his type of reading he will have. There are no keywords on the cards, there are no scenes, and always needs to go to the guidebook. Of course, it depends on every type of reader, every person, but to be honest, it wouldn't be my first choice. The Darkness of Light Tarot is also one of my favorites. I have it personally, and I have noticed that some men like it and they connect with it. And also the scenes they have make it easy to describe what is happening in the card. And it's quite nice, it's really quite nice for men. So this will be probably one of my best choices among the, I have this one, the Fontaine Tarot and Game of Thrones are among the first ones I will think about. Modern Spellcaster, someone talked about it. It wouldn't be my first choice, to be honest, but maybe it can be one of the options there. The next deck is Gods and Titans cards, which is an oracle deck, because today we are not only talking about tarot decks, we are talking also about oracle decks, and which tarot deck is nice, but an oracle deck might be a good first deck to have. And this is a masculine deck, which is really interesting to have, and to be honest, is one of the best choices, I would say, for men, because we, as the tarot readers or as a spiritual persons, we have this secret mission also to open up men to their own power and to their own divinity. Especially if you are a priestess or therapist or into that kind of field, it's one of your main missions. So I think this would be really, really great as a gift. Another deck, there's Osho Zen Tarot, which is also a nice deck for those who are into mindfulness. If your boyfriend is into mindfulness or to meditation or into yoga, there's a lot of men now that are practicing yoga, which is really interesting. So this one would be really interesting. And also there is another deck, it's called Osho cards or something like that. This might be interesting also to gift. Santa Muerte Tarot deck. I put this deck, and I have another one to also suggest, which I forgot the name. Actually, and I'm not the type of people, like, for example, there are some men that come from the Hispanic, speaking, or from South America or something like that might be interested by this, but I don't want to stereotype. There are other people from other origins that can be interested by that too. This deck, it's a discovery. It's one of the members that talked about it, Terra Volatile, and I really like it, actually. I mean, I can get it for myself first, but this can be with other decks, historical decks, for men who are interested by history and they want to explore or want to find this imagery in their decks. And trying to, all right, let's put it like this. Then other deck, Deviant Moon, also is another option. I have a lot, so I'm gonna speed it up a little. Night Santa also was one of the suggestions of the members. Tarot del Toro, another option that's alongside with Santa Muerte. This one is Angelarium, and this one was really nice gift once. And there was what's this called? 78 Tarot made also something about astral tarot or astral edition, and it was a really nice gift. I mean, people or men get interested by that one, and this one also might be an interesting option, especially for those who are into science fiction or like reading about these type of things. This was another suggestion. And oh yeah, of course, decks by James Reed, talking about Prisma Vision Tarot and his other decks. Alongside this, there is the Usi House of Edition here that make very, very nice decks, playing cards. Some men are into playing cards, and they might be interested by this type of printing and this type of art, and Usi have very, very nice collection, very nice tarot decks. So let me just get them out in here. And it depends on the budget you want to put also. There are some decks on Amazon, there are some decks who are self-edited. So this might be a very interesting option. So Game of Thrones, I showed it to you. Oh, one option I wanted to put is one of the decks I have created, which is called the Ultimate Feminine and Masculine. And this one, I noticed that it's really interesting for some men who are into already accepting their feminine side and wanting to explore the different attitudes they have within, whether they are masculine or feminine. And it's quite interesting because it comes with a journal that people can journal. There are some men more and more that are into journaling. And I discovered recently a journal called Mind Journal for Men, which is really nice, also a nice option as a gift for them. So this deck would be also an interesting option, especially for those who are into self-exploration and self-discovery and are a little bit maybe advanced in this field. All right, so I will stop now for with the sharing. I hope you enjoy this video. Let me know which deck or what other decks you would offer to a boyfriend, and if you did, what would be that deck, and how was the reaction, and maybe how that deck opened them to other things in their lives. To be really amazing to share about that. So thank you very much. Thank you for the members who answered, because you have brought me new decks that I didn't think about, and that I can suggest also for my clients and for my friends. That there are more and more men interested in this, so let's help them, give them like a push. Have a